Hello, everybody. It is currently about 12 a.m. on December 17th of 2023. The last time I made a video, I was talking about moving and being an addict and a bunch of other stuff, and there's been a bunch of stuff that has changed. I think during the pandemic, people were jumping into pretty serious relationships that crashed and burned. No hate in my heart. It just didn't work out. I am currently living in Portland, Maine. I am in school and things are going so. Got some medications figured out. I am 2 weeks, God willing, away from 4 years being sober. The reason I am making a video is because I wanted to talk about something that I've been struggling with, and I've also been seeing some of the YouTubers that I used to follow when I was a teenager are popping back up with hey, here's some updates. So I figured I'd give an update and see if anybody else is feeling this way. So something that I am struggling with is I had made a video. I just found it that I didn't want to be known for being trans and stuff like that, and I still don't really, but I do. But I'm also grieving the fact that I've had to make a lot of sacrifices, and some of the other decisions that I've made have resulted in sacrifices. I started using substances, abusing substances, shortly after my transition. So, there's not a whole lot of documentation that I kept up on. So, there's not really a whole lot of changes that I can see except from when I was before hormones, a couple months, and then where I am now, which is February will be 8 years on testosterone. I guess I'll do a quick update. We got some beard stuff going on. Still can't grow a mustache, really, so I shaved that. My hairline is kind of receding. I apologize, I'm wearing this hat because I have these 2 splotches from a medical test that I had done a couple weeks ago, and they still haven't gone away. Made my ears bigger, got some ink. Overall, things have been, kind of okay. I currently work in addiction recovery. I think I was talking about that in my last video. Had some changes job-wise, didn't end up working out, ended up working back in the field while I'm going to school. I should be finishing my bachelor's degree at the end of next fall, and then I'm hoping to start grad school. There's been some positive changes and some really not so positive changes. There was an incident. Well, I guess it's not really an incident, but I was taking a class. I won't mention the name of the class or the professor, but I had a question on the final exam about a movie called My Life in Pink. It is a French film about a 7-year-old trans girl, and it came out in 1997. Pretty stereotypical storyline, but it was upsetting to have to watch the movie a month and a half ago. It was upsetting to have to rewatch it to get an idea of how to answer these questions for this final. It was overall just really ignorant and really upsetting way to end a very difficult semester, for sure. But yeah, I'm also really focused on the fact that I can't have biological children. that wasn't something that I was expecting. I had a hysterectomy in July of 2018. It was just recommended as the next part of the journey. I was in active addiction, not really processing things. Like, I've forgotten so much of my transition, or so much of it was just so spotty. I'm kind of grieving that, and the only thing that I remember from waking up from the surgery is like, oh my god, I can't have children, and that feeling has never left. And I feel like there aren't a lot of people talking about like negatives of transitioning. Like, I absolutely don't regret the decision at all. Like, it needed to go, whatever. Like, it's done. Like, and it needed to be done. It allows me to be on a very low dose of testosterone. Currently, I do something a little bit different than I see a lot of people doing. I don't do injections anymore. I put on a cream daily. It's like testosterone powder suspended in lotion, and it gets custom made at a pharmacy in town. So it's like put together like a couple days before I pick it up, which is really nice, which means it hasn't been like sitting or stewing or whatever. I don't know. There's just not a lot of, you know, we don't know how long things have been sitting on a shelf. I've also been, kind of getting paranoid in my head about things. There's a lot of like new topics out there entering, college. Just even a couple of years after the pandemic, we're talking about AI and stuff like that. I'm not going crazy, but like, there's just things that happen that make you think. But so I do that. It costs me about $30 a month. I pay like $100 when I go pick it up, and it's like a 3-month supply. So yeah, that is a thing. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, I'm making this video to kind of just get stuff out. It was a very, kind of healthy outlet. And I don't have a lot of subscribers, don't have a lot of viewers, but I know that anybody can find this on the internet. I haven't seen a whole lot of, and I don't really, to be honest, I don't really dig too far. But I don't feel like there's a lot of people talking about being transgender and being a drug addict who is now sober and stuff. Like, I know a lot of people in the community, but like, as far as like, presence, I'm struggling with like how to hold space and presence. Still don't really know where I want to fall. Like, a lot of people know that I'm trans, some people don't know. I'm kind of being like more stealth about it. Like, I've told one person at work, no, 2 people at work, and one person actually came up to me today and said, "Are you trans?" I'm like, "Yes." Fine. It's fine. But yeah, I don't, so I'm like in this weird area. There was an incident in one of my first classes this semester, though. The topic of gender and being trans and identifying trans people came up, and I just outed myself in class. Because, I don't know, I feel a little bit responsible to help educate people. I feel very blessed of how my transition has turned out. I haven't had a whole lot of issues. There was like some issues like early on in my transition with like people just being ignorant, but it was also 2016, 2017. I think things have changed a lot. And I live in a, supportive environment, so I haven't had a whole lot of issues. But yeah, I am trying to figure out how I want to be involved, or if I want to be involved, or, I think pretty consistently I've talked about not wanting to have trans be my identity. So I'm trying to figure out where I fit. kind of going back to school, being a little bit older than the people in your class. It's cool. It is what it is. I just turned 25, and you know, I'm buckled in. I'm a real adult now. Um, so yeah, it'll be an interesting ride. I don't know if I'll keep posting videos. I do have there's some people that comment on my videos and they're supportive, so maybe I'll start doing just small vlog type stuff. I don't know. But yeah, overall things are okay. I'm okay mentally. It was a long semester, and my head is kind of just trying to decompress all of this information and weird life situations that aren't quite going exactly as I expected, which is kind of how life is. There's just, yeah, there's a lot of coping with things and figuring out how to cope with things. Yeah, but I am in therapy. I take meds. I no longer use substances. And I get to work with people that are trying to get sober. So that's really cool. I have friends, and I think that that's, huge for me. I think when I started making videos, I had one friend that, I really relied on. And that was when I was a junior in high school, sophomore, junior in high school. So, yeah, things have definitely changed quite a bit. It's been kind of cool, like I said earlier, watching, some of the people that I was watching early on in my transition, popping back up. It's really cool. Yeah, because YouTube kind of seems to be an outdated platform. I'm kind of old school when it goes to social media. I don't have TikTok. I don't want to download TikTok because I know me and I know I would never get off of TikTok. I got rid of my Instagram a couple years ago. I just wasn't feeling it. I really am only on Facebook, and I mostly just watch things that would be on TikTok or YouTube. But yeah, I hope YouTube kind of makes a comeback because I kind of appreciate it. You know, I I remember it back when it didn't have ads. It was pretty nice. But yeah, I just wanted to, I guess, check in, vlog, do whatever. There's a lot of changes that I'm hoping to make. It was kind of a slog these last few months, but I feel like I'm starting to kind of come out on the other side of that, and I think it's time to make some further changes in my life. So maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that. But at this point in time, I'm not ready to share that yet. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. Again, I just, really appreciate what outlet I've had from, watching the couple YouTubers that I followed and making very, very sparse videos. But yeah, I think that's all that I have. All right.